Welcome to Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go, a look at modern and retro games with a dark sense of humor. Introducing your hosts, Steve.
Well, I'm a wreck now.
Harry.
Put it in my mouth.
Clark.
That man had one testicle and hit home runs, goddammit.
And Joe.
This went off the rails very quickly.
Let's start the show.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Super Fun Game Review Podcast. Go! I'll be your host this evening, Joe. Along with me here tonight is Steve.
And by the way, that's people you're breathing.
It's ominous.
Yeah.
Also with me tonight is Harry.
Shut the fuck up!
That's so fucking rude.
That's so damn rude.
That about wraps it up for this week's episode.
Point. All right.
And it's over. We're done.
Also joining me this evening is Mr. Clark.
Is that a long health bar, or are you just happy to see me?
And like I said, I'll be your host. I'm Joe. And there's no way out. You'll just have to fuck it. So, it's impossible to tell, but by our quips tonight, we're going to be reviewing Bionic Commando, the 2009 rendition.
I could have sworn I heard that line at some point in the game, and I tuned it out. I was like, "There's no way that could have been said."
So he says "fight it" 3 times in a row, and then he'll say "fuck it." Just gonna have to fuck it.
I heard it, and then I was like, "There's no way he said that." And I literally paused the game, and I went straight to YouTube, and I found that fight, and I went to it, and I was like, "Motherfucker says fuck it."
Fight it, fight it, fight it. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Do it live.
All right, so this episode is brought to you by Deep Creek Glass Works. Since 2013, Deep Creek Glass Works has been handcrafting durable glass goods for everyone to enjoy. If you're looking for something awesome for yourself, maybe for a loved one, or one of your bros,
Yeah.
they have jewelry, glassware, pretty much anything you can think of. And if they don't have what you're looking for, just feel free to email them or contact them through their website, and Tanner will be more than happy to help you out. If you go to deepcreekglassworks.com, that's WORX. Excuse me. If you go to Deep Creek Glassworks, that's WORX, you can use our promo code SUPERFUN and you get 10% off your order.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Do you have deals with glasses? Oh, excuse me.
Can we just appreciate that he said WORX?
Yeah, I was like,
WORX.
Joe, tell him about the boxes.
Hey, we all
that's
fucked
how I
that
totally
up. Let's
just
be
skipped
honest.
that part.
Not me. Not me. Hit every one of those syllables, motherfuckers.
Fessenden. Fessenden is all I have to say.
Oh, man.
Sorry, Joe.
All right, so let's get into some initial impressions. I'll start with Clark.
Well, I was a fan of the original Bionic Commando, and I really liked Bionic Commando Rearmed, which was a remake of the original, which was a hype up version to, well, I guess it came out to hype up this. And I had played some of the multiplayer in this, I guess, back when it came out, but I didn't really get into the story. And boy, might have just had more fun with the multiplayer back in the day.
All right, Mr. Bouse.
So this is a game.
Accurate.
I'll be honest. I knew nothing about this. I don't think I've ever heard of Bionic Commando. Apparently, there's a little bit of a following from what was it, NES or Super NES?
Yeah.
It was NES, right?
Yeah.
Came
Came out in 1997.
So there's a little bit of a following, but like I didn't hear anything. I don't know who is demanding for this game. I don't know. This was a game.
Caught you out of left field, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, that's my initial impression.
All right, Steve.
I played the original game, and it's like a 2D side scroller, and that was just, like Harry said, it's a game. And then when you brought it to the table for the podcast, and there's a remake, I'm like, oh, well, it might be a little bit interesting. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, janky Spider-Man, which was the theme throughout what we had, and that seemed to play true. Yeah, we'll get into all the details once it comes about.
All right. So I actually pre-ordered this game.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I pre-ordered this game. I think I played maybe 30 minutes of it.
You have to understand that, like, after Rearmed, Joe and I were so fucking hyped for this game. It's ridiculous.
We played a lot of Rearmed. Like, we were like basically platinum that game.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, like Rearmed I've now purchased 3 times.
Oh, what?
It's just that good.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Why didn't we play that then, Joe?
The same thing. When you were like Bionic Commando, I was like, yes, Rearmed. And you're like, no, the other one. And I was like, but why?
But why? Why?
But why?
Because I kind of knew how this was going to play out.
Oh, okay. So you just wanted to be a dick.
You Steve
wanted to have fun with it.
You
Yeah,
Steve does.
Hey.
You pick crappy games on purpose. You've said it before.
Not wrong. Not wrong. That's fine. I'll give you that. That's fair.
So yeah, like I said, pre-ordered this game initially in 2009, played 30 minutes of it probably, which was the first time I booted it up, and I don't think I booted it up again until, a month ago. So,
Joe is like, I gotta get my money's worth somehow. I'll trick the guys for the podcast into it.
Oh yeah. I gotta get my money's worth. Let me buy it a second time.
God
yeah.
damn it.
That's rude, Joe. That's fucking rude.
So, that being said, let's swing our way into game development.
Game development.
This was actually an interesting read.
Was it?
Yes, because there was very little about the game development that I could find anywhere. Mainly because, Capcom had enlisted...
Everyone killed that made this game, and no one's ever talked about it again.
Basically. So Capcom hired Grimm to make this... Grin, yes, sorry. To make the Bionic Commando Rearmed and this game. They did both of them. And Grin basically went on the record saying that they were like put all of their development time into Rearm and basically none into the Bionic Commando sequel.
It's not surprising.
So basically, and they had like no money because I think they were getting money from Universal at the time, and like Universal was like not making any money. Like 2009 was like the huge recession. Like they had like no resources. And Capcom refused to give them any money as well. So after it came out, Capcom was basically like, I don't know if we're going to work with any Western game developers again. Just straight up. Because they were like, we are not happy with this game at all. And after the launch, now this stat is amazing. So the game in the first month of sales sold 27,000 copies.
Wow.
Which is like nothing for a game.
Yeah.
You were one of those people, Joe.
I was.
I am one of 27,000.
Yeah. 27,000.
So
Quite
it was
amazing.
a colossal failure.
Colossal failure.
But I wonder what the numbers are compared to Rearmed.
It's got to be nowhere close.
Yeah, I can't imagine it is. Rearmed is so good. It's a real shame that the next gen Spencer, the best version of him is in not Mortal Kombat.
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah.
That's the best place to find Spencer in next generation past PS2.
Yeah. So that was pretty much all I could find from game development. Like I said, Capcom was not happy with this game, refused to give them any money, and it was total shit show.
And that's a typical Capcom thing too. They don't fund any projects that aren't, Resident Evil and Marvel versus Capcom and Street Fighter.
Joe, did you look up the sales stats? Because you were like, I got to know how many other suckers were out there that got this game.
I'm not alone.
I hope the four of us buying copies of this didn't trigger the possibility of some executive at Capcom being like, we should make a sequel.
Yeah.
Did you see the sales this week?
Oh, what's this?
Okay, so I'm just gonna go to that route because you brought it up, Clark. At the end of the game, after the credits, there's that Morse code, thing that doesn't get translated at all. Yep. It translates into German. So if you don't read German, you have to translate it to English.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically an announcement for a sequel. It's like execute phase 2.
Yeah, I imagine that's probably stuck in development hell, what with no money and no developer.
It's amazing how that comes together.
Just no money and no one to make a game. It just never happens. It's the craziest shit.
Hey, it'll be there. Or Vita Shane.
Yeah, I couldn't believe, after, they knew it was development hell for the first one. Why would you even leave that in there?
Spencer will ride again.
Well, it would probably cost more money to change it rather than
the last 20 seconds.
It's already in there. Sure.
They'd have to pay somebody money on the stuff that they already lost money on to fix it. They'd rather be like, oh no, you 27,000 Bionic Commando fans, you're not getting a sequel, and pay the developer to fucking fix it and patch that shit.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for game development. So let's swing our way into story.
Story.
I think I wrote too much for this.
You probably did.
Oh God.
I'm actually excited to hear the synopsis because I don't know what happened.
I'll be honest. I didn't either.
For fuck's sake.
I didn't either until I wrote the synopsis. I was like, oh.
I did retain this useless information. Shit.
All right, let me get into this real quick here.
Yeah, good luck.
The game takes place 10 years after the original 1987 game of the same name. You play as Major Nathan Spencer, aka Rad, who is a government operative working in Ascension City. You begin the game by being released from prison with the assistance of Joseph Gibson, or Super Joe, who is a part of a committee who trains bionic operatives such as Nathan. Super Joe only gets Nathan out to assist with a threat that is taking over Ascension City. Nathan initially declines to help, since Joe is one of the people who wrongfully accused him of treason and put him in jail in the first place. Joe uses the whereabouts of Nathan's wife against him to blackmail him into helping the city. You find out that the terrorists are after a super weapon hidden in the city, and you're ordered to get to it before the terrorists do. Once you locate the weapon, you find out that Joe is the enemy and the leader of BioRain. Super Joe also tells you that in order for bionics to work properly, they need to sync with their host with an emotional and physical connection, and has revealed that Joe sacrificed your wife in order for your Bionic Commando to work perfectly. This enrages Nathan, and you begin to pursue Joe, who activates the super weapon known as Project Vulture. You eventually kill Super Joe in a mid-air battle. However, the final mission was not successful, and as mentioned before, the Morse code at the end translates to Phase 2 prepared. Activate Project Albatross.
Joe, I feel I should call you Super Joe because, like the antagonist, you pretended to be my friend and then gave us this title to play.
Wow.
I'm waiting to see Harry go in his notebook and just cross out one joke. Like, oh, got this one.
I'm sorry,
Prepared material.
I wasn't going to be that rude against Joe, but hey, I'm out.
Bring it on. I don't care.
I just, the joke was there. I had to make it.
I mean, I always call our Joe Super Joe, but now you just seem very rude and albatrossed.
So, Average Joe.
Albatross Joe. Yeah, sure.
Albatross Joe.
Albatross Joe. Fuck you. But good synopsis.
All right.
Yeah, it was all just the whole thing's just fucked up. It's like
I'll have you know that like all of the story happens in the opening cutscene and the end cutscene. There ain't shit really that happens in the middle.
No, so kind of like the Resident Evil meme that was posted not too long ago. It's like the first part, the rest.
Wait, did you mention the other two Bionic Commandos that he meets?
No,
at
I did
all?
not.
Oh yeah, like
They're not
so,
important to the story.
Lieutenant
Well,
Dan, you got legs.
You know the sniper guy is the villain from Rearmed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like about it. I don't know who the speedster chick is. I don't remember her. Mag. Fuck.
You get triggered right there.
Run full speed to her own death.
It's like, oh, here's this annoying bitch in my life. Oh, Mags. Great.
Shut up, Meg.
There's like a certain way that you go about remastering an old game from like the Nintendo era, and that's like you have to go and make it meaningful. Like you have to make a remake like meaningful. You have to flesh out the story that they couldn't do in the Nintendo days, like because unless it's Final Fantasy, you're not getting tons of story out of any of those old games.
Well, I mean, if you're going to make it good, that's
Right.
the difference.
But this is literally just as shallow as an old school Nintendo game.
Not wrong.
It's crazy to me. Like if you want depth, like you can read some of the fucking nodes that you hack or whatever, but like even that shit's dumb.
I didn't read any of those.
I read like maybe the first 3 or 4, and it was very dry and uninteresting.
Oh, I scanned a couple of them. It's like emails back and forth. Like fuck. Like
Yeah.
no. None of that shit is ever interesting. I haven't found one game where like that collectible stuff is truly interesting.
Yet games keep doing it though. Like
I know, like just give us some exposition.
Yeah, it's not actually pertinent to the story. They're just like, hey, we're just gonna throw some random stuff in here. Oh, subject 029 was doing this. End of message. It's like, what? It's like,
See, it's funny though because like the games that don't do that, where they don't have the notes everywhere, but they still want to get like everything is accomplished, is like a Kojima game. Because it just has everything in a cutscene. Everything. Whether you want to hear it or not.
Not wrong.
Everything's
Not wrong.
there.
I think the only game that I know of that did like the pages okay would be Control.
Control was all Control was all
they
right.
were actually interesting.
Alan Wake was good. I liked Alan Wake, but every page was narrated.
Oh,
so you could listen to the narration of it.
Well, what was interesting
that's okay.
but a lot of that was going to happen in the game coming up, so it like built you into reading those things so you know what to expect. So it was like a gameplay thing in itself, not just...
Yeah, it played into the story directly as opposed to being like backstory or outside of the main story filler nonsense.
That keyword filler. That's what a lot of it felt like.
But that's the thing. I don't even think this is good filler. Like, this isn't good filler at all. Like, this is just words. Like, this is just nothing.
Never said good filler, just
filler. No.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes there's good filler, but like, fuck, no, this is not it.
I mean, I did not play Rearmed, so I don't know what kind of storyline they had, but this just seemed kind of like pumped in.
Not much of one.
Yeah, that like there was like nothing to go off of. No, it was like, oh, here's the story of this. Here's the story of that. Oh, we bring it together, push it forward. Oh, here's a little bit more on the side. And then we just had, who gives a fuck? Just here's the rest of it. It's like there wasn't any substance at all to the story.
I mean, Rearmed is kind of like that, but Rearmed is just a modernization of the Nintendo game.
Yeah, it doesn't try to like pretend that there is a story there, though.
There's an enemy at the top of this building. Get to the top of this building. There will be enemies along the way. Be careful. See you later.
Yeah.
That's nailed it.
Yeah. Fucking nailed it. And it's such a better game for it. I'm sorry, it really is.
Yeah, story pretty lackluster. Is there really anything else to discuss?
I think the ending caught me way off guard with like the angel robots. I didn't know that was coming at all. Like they Again, I guess I wasn't paying attention to the story well enough.
That's okay. I wasn't. I did the same thing. Like I said, I wrote this synopsis and I was like, oh, I guess it kind of makes sense. But holy crap, I wasn't getting any of that during the gameplay.
I mean, I was right there with you, and then at the end, she was with you all along. She's in your arm. It's like, wait, what? It's like that's the big get at the end. I just didn't. I don't know. I expected more. I don't know what more I could have expected, but just something.
All right. Well, that being said, let's swing our way into gameplay.
Gameplay.
All right. I know exactly how they could have made this game 100 times better.
Okay. Lay it on us, Harry.
One of the last missions in the game, as you're like plowing through enemies, almost every next zone you get to, not even a full loading, but like every a base of enemies,
open arena area.
Yeah, exactly. There would be the option to pick one of the 3 guns again, where they kept arming you.
Yeah.
With
they
more
would
and more
give you
guns.
the shotgun, the sniper, or like the grenade launcher, and be like,
yes,
pick one.
if they could have just kept spoon feeding you the amount of guns per like arena, I think it would have made for a much better game.
The first 3 quarters of the game where you had like pistol only was rough. Because it was like all I would do that whole time was basically grapple and then like do that thing where you fly towards them and then kick.
Yeah, that's the base move of just to get through the game. Like,
yeah,
you have to do the grapple kick, slide,
and then,
grapple
and
kick,
hope
slide,
it doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
Because like it would be janky sometimes, and like you would go all the way up to the guy, hit him in the face, and then he would just miraculously skate around on the ground, and you'd be like, "Well, I hope he doesn't fall off the level," because that happens.
Yep. You just slide with them.
Yeah,
Like, "Ew."
till he hits something else. But
I
yeah, that-
played this almost exclusively gun, or I was throwing obstacles at people. I rarely use that grapple kick, to be completely
Interesting.
honest. Yeah.
That was like my number one move.
Even on the grunts, it took 2 kicks to kill him, though. It was
Yeah.
so frustrating.
Let me kick you. Let me kick you. Let me kick you again. No,
And the worst is when you lock on and you grapple them, but then like you get shot, so you get stunned for a second, and then they pull out their fucking taser baton. Because every fucking guy, every single person, even though if they didn't know Nathan Spencer was there with his fucking grappling hook arm, for some reason had a stun baton. Every guy, every fucking guy, they're the most well-equipped army ever. They're just like, oh, we're ready for everything. What do we need? Fucking stun batons.
the
Guns
combat,
and stun batons.
the combat
Fuck.
was so fucking frustrating. It just it didn't line up. That's pretty much it.
Baseline enemies were as strong as you. How are you a bionic commando? That's what I want to know. Like, I'm sorry, but in a game with a character like this, who should be superpowered, essentially, if you think about it that way, like he has a fucking superpower, he has an advantage over other people.
His name is Commando, for God's sake.
At some point, you should actually feel like you have a superpower or advantage. There's no advantages to be had other than swinging away because you're almost fucking dead because you found 2 fucking soldiers at the same time and they spotted you first. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no middle ground. You're either operating at such a high level that you're steamrolling everybody, or you are just slagging along, fucking dragging your stupid fucking arm. It's so bad. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
an arm, Lieutenant
fucking
Dan.
sucks. The multiplayer was really fun because everyone fucking sucked. And like, so you're all just kind of sucking in a fucking
Everyone is
deathmatch.
janky Spider-Man.
Yeah, everyone's janky Spider-Man, and that's great. It's a janky fucking dumb game, but like, you put people on the ground that can't grapple, and they're just the most elite soldiers in the fucking world.
Well, that's a thing where you leave it to the user and you can't do shit. You give it to the AI. Apparently, they're a fucking master at everything. I mean, the only thing I would ask is like when you were like, or at least for myself, when I was trying to like pull up the like surrounding environments and try to throw it at people, did you have to like position yourself to a certain point to be able to throw it? Or
It couldn't, like, the obstacle couldn't hit something else on the way or as you picked it up or anything like that.
right, but I mean, it was like I would find something in front of me, but if I tried to pick it up in front of me and then pull it up to the, above myself and then throw it, it didn't work out so well. So I would like grab it, strafe to the side, so that way I can put the object behind me and then throw it. And that was the only way that I can make it work.
That worked way better.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like that just got frustrating, where if there's like a box right in front, I would just imagine that if I'm going to pick it up, it's going to come up and maybe a little above my head so I can throw it. But 80% of the time I'd pick it up and then I go throw it and it's just like schlup right down.
Yeah. If it was in front of you, you had to like you were trying to crack a whip, you had to like flick it behind you.
Oh.
And then forward. Like you had to like time like the B button a little bit differently.
That's too much work.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
Yeah, it's like I didn't do it. So all I did was like I would grab something and then I kind of like shift to the side of it so I can kind of get it behind me and then just throw it towards wherever I wanted to go to. And
or like grapple something and then do a 180 toward the guy and then throw it.
So Steve was doing his nay-nay before the whip.
Joe, can you just close out his screen real quick? I
I don't
mean,
even want to look at Harry anymore.
I'm mad, but I'm not. He's not wrong. It's true. It's like, I want to wait. Oh wait, I got a nay real quick. Okay, there we go. Hey, watch me do.
All right, we can move on. It's fine.
You're a fucking turd.
Now watch me whip.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
rock hit a building. I'm fucked. Because there's a guy standing in front of me with a fucking pistol in this game.
Watch me whip. Oh shit! Nay. There we go.
I was literally waiting to like lift a rock in the air, someone shoot me lose it, and it just crushed me to death. Like
Yeah,
I'm
basically.
fucking waiting for it.
Basically,
I sent you guys that fucking picture, right? Did you guys all see that? Of when you have to like uppercut the forklift and then punch it
oh
through
yeah, it got
the
stuck
Yeah,
in the
the
wall.
one that was stuck in the wall.
I had to find another forklift and just uppercut that and punch that through the wall. And it took 3 tries because it would just bounce off the other one and bounce off the other one. I had to hit the wall. It was the dumbest thing ever. Fuck, the
times.
collision detection in there was really bad.
Yeah.
There's just...
Trying to kill the mechs was ridiculous. Like the mech sequences, and then like some of the just arena sequences, like the arena sequence when you find like the super weapon or whatever, when you get like the waves of guys, was harder than any boss fight. Like hands down, the boss fights in this game were a fucking joke compared to that shit. We'd have like a wave of like 15 guys for like 4 or 5 waves, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like I could barely take out 3 at a time.
The mechs that were a pain in the ass were the berserker ones, the ones that you couldn't get any distance on, that they would just be on your ass constantly. The other mechs weren't too bad, but that one was a pain.
Well, I'll say for like the first 20% of the game, that was a real it was a pain in the ass. But once I learned to actually pick shit up on the side and throw it, like once I after that, and I just started like chucking everything I could find. A box, go for it.
Oh,
A
yeah.
piece of shrapnel, go for it. Why the fuck not? And when Harry
run out of shit.
put up, when he was fighting that helicopter, I forget the name. I'm trying to go back and I can't.
It doesn't
can't
matter.
find-
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It was a helicopter.
It's a helicopter.
yeah. I didn't realize that you had to look at the helicopter and then get a lock on it and then hold your fire button to get all of like your
yeah.
and that's after that.
Yeah, you could
was,
like you aim your cursor at like a bunch of different stuff.
exactly. Yeah, and after that it was fine.
Yeah.
But it was a matter of like building up to, it's like, oh, there's a giant group of enemies. Yeah, fuck you. I'm gonna pick up this big like shipping container. I'm just gonna throw it in a direction. Anything else, I'm just gonna throw it over there. If you're left, I'm just gonna shoot you, or just like and then be done. It's like
Easily the most satisfying moment I had in the entire game was, the mechs that have the giant lasers?
Yes.
The blue
Yeah.
laser thing.
Yeah.
I stunned one and he dropped it and I picked it up and I just beat him to fucking death with
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I was like,
Fucking
boom! It just jumped in the air. I grabbed it and brought it back on his fucking head.
And then you bring it back, equip it, and it's like, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
all the way around. It's like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah. Between like using their weapons against them as like that, like throwing them, or like throwing carcasses at them. Like that was like, so
yes.
satisfying.
Yeah.
And there was a couple like achievements for just throwing like dead bodies at like other enemies.
Oof. Can you imagine achievement hunting this?
Nope.
No. I would not
You
want
said
to
it
do
so
that.
quickly. Do they?
No, there's a lot of games that I do look at the achievements, and
This was not one of them?
No, this is no.
I don't even know if the PC one supports achievements.
It shouldn't. Save everybody the time.
That's very accurate. It's just don't do it.
Someone at Valve's like, should we put the Bionic Commando achievements in? And there's just like his manager with a gun to his head. Do you want to die today?
Oh man.
Once we're done with the combat, I want to talk about the mobility and swinging around to everything. Because that's a fucking joke in itself.
Do it.
All right, so swinging around is a joke in itself. It's like the distancing.
Got that
like,
part.
If you're like jumping off a building, there's like a
you know how they say that you should never title a book report and then start with the title of the book report as the first paragraph?
Well, fuck that.
That's what Steve just did.
I did. Here we go. So I
love you, Steve. I'm just fucking with you.
It's all right. I love you too. We're good. It's like jumping down off a building, and any other time if like I'm close, like I can get like the little grapple hook going, and then sometimes if it's falling a little too fast, the little blip never fucking shows up. I'm like, oh, okay. So now I'm just drowning in water, and then panic sets in. I'm just like, where the fuck do I go?
Because his arm's too fucking heavy to swim with.
Yeah, apparently that, just like your appendage, just makes you sink. So why not just grab onto anything too close to you? That'd be too smart.
No, you can just jump 10 feet off the ground with it.
Yeah, sure. It's just that part made it feel like super janky Spider-Man, where at least with Spider-Man, it's like, oh, there's a building I can just grab onto. This, not so much. It was like you're kind of left to your own devices. Like, oh, I'm gonna, I'm gonna try to, and dead. The majority of the time that I died was by drowning.
Just drowning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either between that or like I mentioned earlier where you try to do the kick and you slide off of something into the water.
Yeah.
And then when you hold them and they slide into the water, your fucking arm doesn't let go, so you can't even try and save yourself.
Well, that feels like it's like that only happened to me a couple of times, and then after that I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to be so far back above like an actual like surface that I'm not going to fuck around with it. Otherwise, I'll just drop down and I'll just punch them, and like on the third punch, they just go flying off into the distance, and then they'll die. That's okay. I won't get the.
I don't think I punched anybody after the tutorial.
Oh no! I punched so many bitches off the side of a building. It's not even funny. Come down and it's like if they're right on the edge, I'm not going to risk doing anything else. It's like pop, pop, boom, and then and dead. And it's like, all right, I'll go to the next platform and do it again.
Yeah,
I'll fucking do it again.
I'll do it again.
But I think
I'll do it again.
I think as you alluded to it earlier, Harry, I think the blue weapon crates were probably the best part of the game as far as the gameplay goes.
Oh, they were fun.
Because it was like, oh, I have options. Oh, I actually have decent weapons.
Yeah. Oh, so that last segment wasn't too bad. Oh my God, I'm sorry. The segment where you had to drop the three.
Shut up, Blue!
The segment. Every time I go to talk, you see the video of me and just barking coming out.
The dog knows comedic timing. He's on point.
Killing it.
The part where you have to drop the 3 coolant tanks on the platform, you get a bunch of guns there. There's a bunch of dudes that you can kind of get the drop on. I didn't mind that whole mission so much. I think more of the rounds should have been geared more or designed more like that.
Because you knew the game was almost over.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, this is it. I'm almost done. I can do this. I can make it.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible, that mission, I guess.
I'm trying to just provide
Find
some
some
bullet
nice
points in
things
the
to
other
say.
column here.
This is just nothing.
I have a couple nice things graphically to talk about.
Okay, cool. Let's swing our way into graphics.
Love it. Nice.
See, you hated it at first.
Nah, it's consistency. It's building on me.
Yeah. I love it now. I don't want to not swing into anything ever again. Even if it's a game that has nothing to do with it.
We're swinging in.
Like, we can review NASCAR 98. All right, let's swing our way into...
Farm Simulator 2020. We're swinging into it. It's like
Swing
that has
our way
nothing to
in.
do with it. Oh fuck.
I'm getting drunk.
Graphics.
Man, there was a lot of the same thing for like 80% of this
No.
game.
I hope you like shades of brown.
Like demolished city, highways that are only on bridges, and water.
The dirtiest water that you have ever seen.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even
96
pretty.
shades of
Like
gray.
even the tops of it were like, it wasn't like pretty water. Like it was just dirty. Dirty
Anytime
water.
you went underneath of it, it was just just blue. Oh, it's the water is blue everywhere. Apparently, murky and blue.
Oh,
Like when-
fun fact, there are grapple points underneath the water sometimes, which I
Oh,
also
yeah.
found.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I fell in and I like panicked and was like looking around real quick, and I hit the first grapple point I did, and it just took me down even further. I was like,
Oh,
fuck.
fuck.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
Cool, let me restart the whole fucking level.
Jesus Christ.
It's fucking game. Sorry, that's my last thing on gameplay. I know we're in graphics.
Save it for your final thoughts.
so graphically, I was going to say a couple nice things about this game. They should have actually. So I get what they're going for with like the whole radiated city theme, but the way that they did their like park area, I actually thought it looked pretty good. I think they should have geared more of their focus to that kind of level design.
Park area.
It's like when you emerge from the underground at one point, and they even say it's a park, some kind of.
Is that where like it looked like almost like a greenhouse and stuff?
Right
It
before
was-
the worm.
It was
It's
still
when you
out.
start following the worm.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. You emerge from like the subway, and he says some kind of park. I guess it's like the city park or whatnot. But you cut through there, and it looked really decent. I thought they did a really good job with the design there, and they should have.
You
I think they
spent
should have
5
focused.
minutes there.
I know. They should have put more of a focus on that type of design in the game. While I'm on positive things, though, I did want to say
Let's get them knocked out.
the worm, the worm boss fight felt kind of cool. It looked really cool. I thought that was like a highlight of this game. Just I even like when like it whips you up into the sky and you come down
Yeah.
with the fist on the eyeball. I thought
Yeah.
it felt really like a cool point in the game.
Yeah. Even the like the shockwaves and stuff on that like fight weren't like terrible either. Like how it like had the shockwave like blow out and you had to like jump over it or whatever.
Yeah, if you hit one of those though, you automatically get hit by like another one.
Oh yeah. It's
That-
death.
That was what killed me on those fights. It wasn't like the laser, the fire, or car flying through the sky. It was shockwave.
I think I died once via car. It's like when the worm like passed it. I was like
Oh,
out
you
of the
just,
way,
like,
but it
flipped it in the
flipped
air?
the car right. Like, it was like it was like the most fucking Acme ass fucking fall. Like no physics whatsoever. The car just literally just boop right on top. sitting right next to me. Dumb.
Little Wile E. Coyote motherfucker, you.
Yeah. Acme looking motherfucker.
Yeah, like I think the best part about this game, like the graphics that like really like that I think about the most is actually in the tutorial where like you play what's his name from OG Bionic Commando, like you play the original guy in the tutorial.
The guy from Bionic Commando, guys.
Yeah.
The NES version.
Spencer, you play as Spencer from the first game.
Okay. So yeah, but I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, they actually like, added him in here as a character.
There's an unlockable skin in the game. I don't know how you unlock it. I don't really care to find out, but apparently you can unlock it.
You just know it's there.
You have to beat it once, and then you can play through it again with him, probably. Something dumb.
I beat it once.
Boy,
and
I'm
then
not doing
I
that.
play through like so many times. I mean, I get the nostalgia factor with everything, but I don't know. I feel like the graphics were pretty lacking in what it is. I mean, what was this game? Let me look.
It's
2009.
like early 360.
Yeah, I saw better. Just makes me a little sad. And then going through, and it's like, I expected a little bit more.
Wait, was this 360 PS3 generation?
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't look great for that generation then.
No, it doesn't. It
No.
really doesn't.
No.
There's nothing remarkable about this game, and it's very sad.
I mean, like, Portal looked better, and I think that was 2004, 2006.
Well,
Maybe-
okay. Portal versus Grin is like a completely different like.
I'm just comparing years. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, Portal is ahead of its time in general.
Anything else to add for graphics?
Nothing.
Man, I was trying to save it on one category, but then figure out what generation. It was like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
Scratch that.
What do you think it was? What did it feel like to you?
Like a late PS2.
Yeah, pretty much. It feels like Spider-Man 2, except for like not nearly as polished or good.
I don't know. I would give it like almost PS3 graphics. PS2 just seems a little rude. Okay, all right, Harry. I see your face. No, not so much.
Maybe like
okay.
I think it has some PS3 quality, like
Early,
in terms of graphics.
Early
like
PS3.
textures and stuff like that for sure. But like then you look at like some of the standouts from the PS2 era, like Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3, and you're just like, okay, well, it doesn't even fucking compare to those. Like they're
No.
vastly better.
All right. Well, I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's swing our way into sound.
Audio.
So the Nazi Hitler in this game ran.
I love that walk he's doing. He's like that. Do you ever see that guy that's doing the videos where he has like the blacked out eyes? Fuck, I don't know. It's fucking all over YouTube and shit.
Oh boy.
Never mind. Fucking move on.
Grandpa's trying to make an internet reference, guys.
So I just need to look at black guy's eyes. It's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, describe it again, Grandpa.
Yeah.
There's a guy, it's on YouTube, blacked out eyes.
It's like, I don't know if there's eyes or black eyes. It's like, it's just something's there. It's all right. Just look at it. It's funny.
There is one thing I will say about the sound that I think is cool, I don't think it's good, but I think it's cool that the same guy that voices Spike Spiegel is Super Joe in this, and that's it.
Yeah, Steve Blum.
Yep.
This is one of his worst performances, though. Just putting that out there. I recognize the voice, and it was god awful.
Yeah, I mean, look, sometimes you just got to cash a check, right?
Yeah, apparently.
I don't think they cared. I think they were like, look, we got a day. We got to get this done. He's like, all right, it's going to be dirty. It's probably
like
what
dirty's
happened.
how we like it. Have you seen the water in the game yet?
Boom.
Yeah, it was trash.
Dirty water. Are we?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like
Phasmophobia
one
tonight or something.
I'm trying to think of like one memorable like sound. And the only thing that keeps coming to my head is the German dude just yelling. I'm going to get you, Spencer.
that was the battle that was where my quip was from. So if you keep dying at that fight, you can skip his dialogue option. So instead of him doing his little speech, he moves right into his next one of two attacks. And if you hit Y, I was playing on a controller, but if you hit Y to skip that, he yells, "Shut the fuck up." And then the follow-up, the next one would be like, "I told you to shut the fuck up." And then the last one is like, "Shut the fuck up." And he just starts like yelling at him. I thought that was a cool little
Like Easter
little
egg.
add in, to the game with the voice acting. That's what I got. I don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty unmemorable. I don't even remember there being music.
I mean, it was
probably was.
Well, it was. It was just there. It was just very lackluster.
They trot out the original Bionic Commando theme and then just dump it onto the ground and shoot it in the back of the fucking head. They just overplay that shit over and over and over again. If you've heard, like, it's honestly, it's all the music from Rearmed, just not 8-bit. That's all it is. And the best parts are when you pick up a collectible, because that is the original good music from the game.
It would do the 8-bit sound when you picked up a collectible. I forgot about that.
Yeah, like da da da. Like that 2 seconds, there's actually good music that goes along with that sound clip that they use sporadically.
That sound did get on my nerves after picking up so many of those.
Oh yeah,
tokens after a while.
Because it's the start of a fucking song. Like it's not meant to be a fucking little, 3 thing. God, they just ruined it.
Oh,
the game is bad.
Either bad. Clark is either very mad or he just came. I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm just horny as hell for this game.
A little from column A, a little from column B. All right,
a little bit. Depends on how much I've been drinking. I'm waiting for Mag to swing on over here.
Grapple onto this.
Oh, fuck.
All right, then. Let's swing our way into final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Mr. Steve, final thoughts. What do you got?
I did have some fun playing this game. I was just very, I don't know. I got caught up on little things here and there. I almost feel like I'm spoiled, like with other like
swingy games.
Yeah, I guess so. Spider-Man is like the only one. Even Batman, like Arkham Asylum, like being able to swing around, seemed more fluid than this did. I don't know. It was an action game. I got some points where it was enjoyable, and then there was others where I was disappointed. So I'll save that for my score.
All right, Mr. Bouse, what do you got?
I think the best thing to take away from this, like, it's not a great game by any means, but I think I am going to remember that worm battle. I think that was a really cool moment in the game that lasted 5 minutes.
But it followed the other cool moment you had in the park, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was also 5 minutes.
What was good, though, is though it was a bad game, it wasn't long. Unlike LA Noire. So
this was worse to play than LA Noire. I would rather play LA Noire again than play this 8 times in a row.
That's a fucking statement.
8 times in a row, yes. But
Yeah.
like a 1-to-1 comparison because of that time investment. Yeah, I don't.
Well, yeah, because of of course.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and
it's a 40-hour game, Harry. This
yes,
is like
and I'm pushing because of how short it is. That makes it better. If it's gonna be bad, at least make it short.
All right.
I feel like that's something your wife says to you. It's gonna be bad. It's gotta be short.
Yeah, I don't. Other than that, it's. I'm gonna forget about this game pretty quickly.
Clark?
Boy, man, this is a bad game. It's a bad game. There's not a lot of redeeming qualities for me about this. The challenge is unbalanced. The story is awful. The voice acting's bad. There's just nothing here. I like. There's not even nostalgia here because they changed the way the main character looks.
It's not even the same guy.
What?
Yeah.
It's Spencer. Yeah, the first guy is still Spencer. Don't tell me that, because then this game just gets nothing from me.
Oh, the research is happening.
Yeah, you play as Super Joe in the first one.
Oh.
Fuck this game. This game is absolute garbage. There's nothing here. There's nothing here for me. Okay, cool. So they took the game that I like and turned the main character into a complete asshole. Great. Good job, guys. Awful.
So now that I ruined that for Clark, I mean, pretty much everything that needs to be said has been said as far as my final thoughts go. The game was rough. I wasn't expecting it to be as rough as it was. I'll say that much. I knew it wasn't going to be great, but I did not think it was going to be that bad.
Wait a second. Nathan Spencer is the main character of all of the Bionic Commando games. You're rescuing Super Joe in the first one.
So why would he turn on you then?
Because he's a
dick.
They made it bad.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh, he's the bad guy the whole time. Cheap heat.
I really thought this was going to be one of the games that like we would be pretty divided on. Like maybe one of you guys would have thought this was great.
Did you think that before you played it or after?
Before.
Yeah.
Because Harry didn't know what he was getting into. And then
if you thought that after, I would have serious questions about our judgment.
What do you think this is, Harry?
I've been hoping for one of those games for a while where we're like really divided on a game. We haven't had that in a long time.
Oh, I'm sure there's something down the pipeline.
Oh, yeah. There's something down the pipeline.
Just looking at our schedule here. Oh, yep.
There's one, at least.
No spoilers. All right, so let's let's swing our way to scores.
The score.
Steve, score?
D.
D for
Just
dog shit.
yeah. Yep. You know what? Nailed it. I'm not going to have any follow up. Done.
Harry,
Uh,
4.0.
Do it, Harry. Give it a 4.
It's less than that. Oh wait.
Yeah, I think it is going to be less than that. I'm looking at the other ones where I want to put it.
You know what? Let me guess. I'm going to put it at a 3.2.
What? I don't do what? What?
He doesn't do a 100-point scale. He does a 20-point scale.
2.
I'll give it a 3.0.
Is that better or worse than Duck Dynasty?
It's better. Duck Dynasty is still my second worst.
I might have had more fun playing Duck Dynasty, but I think that's because Steve and I played it together.
Yeah, and we were like at least
Drinking
2
the
sheets
entire time.
to the wind. Yeah, which anything that the Duck Dynasty does, it's like, oh, this isn't so great. You want to drink a beer? Oh, it's a little bit better.
Gotta get into the spirit of the game.
I
God,
had this 2 aged years tequila barrel aged stout. Let's drink that. It's probably 20% now. This will make this game not suck.
Yeah, exactly.
And it did. It did. It worked. It worked. We
It
Duck
did.
Duck Dynasty.
We did.
Clark, score?
This is an absolute avoid. 100%. Don't go near this game.
All right. Clark is a buy.
Get the fuck out of here.
Clark is a pre-order, right, Joe?
I think they call that any means necessary.
One of the games that we have on a schedule, I have a funny story about pre-ordering the game that involves Joe.
On the schedule. Okay. I am going to give this. I'm trying to decide whether it was as bad as Destroy All Humans.
Yeah, that was my placement for this. Based on that game is what really drove my decision here.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was as bad as Destroy All Humans. I'm going to give it a 20%.
I would probably rather play Destroy All Humans.
Go back
Destroy
and
All
play
Humans was frustrating. This game
I don't want to actually. I don't want to.
No, come on.
I gave both of them an avoid, so like I'm in the clear. I'm good.
Yeah, like Destroy All Humans was like frustrating as well as just awful. This game was just not good. It like at least it wasn't like you didn't get to a spot and you had to play it for 3 fucking hours.
Oh God, that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Everybody's getting PTSD. Let's move on.
I didn't think I was going to be able to beat that game.
I beat it the night we recorded it, so I'm right there with you. All right, well, that pretty much wraps up this episode and our review of Bionic Commando. Join us in 2 weeks for Mubbers.
Yeah.
Mubbers.
For the Mubbers.
Mubbers.
Stay sexy.
Stay lovely.
Love you guys.
Stay safe.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media and all streaming platforms at Superfun Podcast for more episodes. If you enjoyed the show, tell a friend about us and consider becoming a Patreon member for more exclusive content.